rape every woman they see. So they never got done, and that shit is just built up in them, man. And that's what's coming.
And they not shame face either, man. They ain't got no covering. Walking out, you ain't got your man with you. You know, hey, fair game. Oh, like that girl. Oh, like I don't know if bro saw that. We was going into that last week. I think it was in New York or something like that. Shorty got her ass hooked and dragged between the fucking car, man. But the scripture say the prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself. A man of the Lord ain't about to be all out 3 o'clock in the morning by himself, probably headphones in. That's not prudent, man. You know? So,
I figured it out.
Judgment, man.
I got one that you called for,
Oh, the Amos.
The Amos.
Oh, kind.
Oh, this is the book of Amos, chapter 8, and verse 11. Behold, the days come, said Yahweh power, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst.
Yeah. So the Lord sent a famine, going to send a famine in the land, or a famine of hearing the words of the Lord, man, the words of Yahweh Shai. And we're being, Lord willing, we are that fold, being the men of the Lord, all right, being the mouthpiece. We're the ones that the Lord gonna hide in that day, man. All right, the Lord gonna hide His servants, man. All right, because at that time, man, the word already went out. All right, 2/3 y'all didn't want to get down with it. So when all our hell break loose, there's no need for the word to go out anymore. It had fulfilled its purpose at that point. All right, the elect had woken up and been sealed. So it's time for the deal to be done, and then salvation gonna be knocking. All right, so a part of that famine of the word is, no more teaching on the tube. All right, no more pushing the word by the way of the internet, man. All right, it's gonna be we're gonna strictly move off faith in that time. But you 2/3, y'all gonna be done.
Verse 12, and they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of Yahweh by Shem Shai, and shall not find it.
Yeah, so mainly you 2/3, y'all gonna be trying to seek the word of the Lord. Y'all gonna try to seek the prophets, man. All right, because in that day you're gonna realize that the scripts say, the pastors, that was intended to the flock. They're giving you false doctrines. All right, leading you astray, telling you to take the MOT to the B. Y'all gonna when y'all see that and see these wolves in sheep clothing, then y'all gonna be like, oh man, those men was telling the truth. Those were the prophets. We called them bums. All right, we was scoffing and mocking them because it was saying Ezekiel 33, or Ezekiel 33, verse 33, I believe, said, then you shall know that the prophet have been among you. All right, then you gonna know, man, that we was those men. All right, we don't look suited and booted. We ain't coming super clean with the fresh lineup, the fresh fade. No, we coming as humble men. All right, we coming through spiritually as if we in sackcloth. All right. You got something else?
I got the elder had something.
Yeah, I had the parable of the 10 virgins to go with that. Because you got a lot of people, like I've been in the truth for a little bit since like 05, but a lot of people I know that fell out, that didn't endure the fight, they trying to make their way back in. Especially that all the prophecies happening and the world is drying up. So now it's kind of like, yo, they trying to get in contact with people that they think still around, but they actually fell out. It's like, yo, you looking for him? He fell out. He ain't teaching. You still hold classes in the garage? I'm like, nah, that shit over with. I'm like, if anything, brothers got the Zoom thing going, but now in order to get kind of in there with that, you gotta be part of the game. You can't just pop up to the Zoom lessons. You know what I mean? And get the word if you ain't part of the camp or part of the circle. You know what I mean? So now it's like, he's like, well, I'm trying to get out there. I gotta teach. I gotta prove myself to the Lord. So he's like, where I get a sign, where I get a board from. So man, this truth basically is an ongoing train. I like to call it a moving train. And if you jump off that moving train, you got to catch back up to it. Even if that train moving 20 miles an hour and you can run 30 miles an hour, you still going to have to bust your ass to catch back up to that train. And you know how hard it is to get on a moving train? While it's moving, you can hurt yourself. You know what I mean? And you might not get on because it's constantly moving.
Yeah, you can grab it.
Yeah, then if somebody try to pull you up, they might fall off of it just trying to help you pull you up. You know what I mean? So a lot of people took this truth for granted. Why? Because it was free. And that's what people do with the things they look at as free. See, people that the pastor charge you for this and that, you thinking you getting something of value. But it's bullshit. You know what I mean? We the true pastors. And pastors come from the root word pasture, which is the greenery. That's what the sheep eat. The sheep eat the pasture. But that's why, like, I'm going to my pasture. Basically what they're saying is, I'm going to somebody who's feeding me the proper doctrine. But they ain't giving you the pasture. They're giving you that fucking pork slop. You know what I mean? That pig slop, what they was feeding Jake. You know what I mean? So get that, Matthew 25.
This is Matthew 25 and verse 1. Then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins, which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom. And 5 of them were wise, and 5 were foolish.
Right, so they both knew of Yahweh in the marriage, right? But they said what? 5 of them were wise and 5 were foolish. Read.
They that were foolish took their lamps and took no oil with them.
Right, so when you think about it, they took their lamps, but they had no oil. And then you got to think why they didn't want to carry no oil with them, because carrying oil was burdensome. So they like, nah, we just going to use our lamps. For now, I don't want to carry all that shit. It's hot as hell. Like, I don't want to deal with it. Basically saying they didn't want to deal with the burdens of the truth.
Bearing your cross.
They didn't want to bear that cross because that extra weight of the truth, they didn't want to do it. So what they did, they went back into the world and had fun. They was that foolish servant that the Lord said, that said the Lord delayeth his coming. And Matthew, what's that, 24:48? Yeah, that you ain't got to get it. That the Lord delayeth his coming.
Matthew 24:48. And if that evil servant shall say in his heart, my Lord delayeth his coming, and shall begin to smite his fellow servants, and to eat and to drink with the drunken.
Yeah, so a lot of niggas try to get over on the Lord because the truth is burdensome. We become prisoners to Yahweh Shai, right? And we bear our cross. So what a lot of people try to do is they try to ditch out on the truth and to go have fun in the world and try to come back into the truth before the doors of repentance close. Basically, that freeloading nigga spirit. You know what I mean? Because they're like, man, I got to come to camp every week. And really, the Lord said, my yoke is easy and my burden is light. And when you go into that word easy, it means manageable. So when the Lord got us in his truth, even though we prisoners to Yahweh, but the Lord ain't really got us like Old One West, karate class, library study. Like when you really look at what the Lord asks of you, it's still got no big long list. So the Lord for his woman, for his servants, the Lord got us. He make the truth manageable for us, man. It's not to a point where he's making it impossible for us. We got cars, brothers got cars, brothers got fucking iPhones, tablets, computers and shit like that. And the Lord's still like, yo, you know, all right, do what you. The Lord is understanding. You know, sometimes brothers gotta work. I can't make it to camp today. They might do a sit down instead, or they might make it next week, or whatever. And the Lord just like, yo, the Lord work with you. But these dudes is like, nah, the truth is too much. And they was embarrassed. A lot of them was embarrassed. And the Lord said, blessed is he who is not ashamed of me. And it said, give me Mark 8:36. He who is ashamed of me and my Father in his sinful and adulterous generation, then will the Son of Man be ashamed of when he come in the presence of the Father with the holy angels? Right, so a lot of people was embarrassed about this truth. Now, I mean, not just that it became burdensome. So, see, when you like to do something and you want to do something, it's not burdensome. And part of the curses, the Lord said what? The reason these curses came upon you is because you serve not the Lord with joyfulness and gladness of heart. You can't be dragging your foot. You can't do that. Man, I can't wait till this shit is over with, man. And then if I don't do it, brothers gonna get on me. So a lot of times brothers don't be wanting to deal with it. People see you, you know what I mean, and they put clamps on your lifestyle as far as you pursuing certain things. And people be wanting to do that. And they get embarrassed about the truth and the word. So they turn their back on it. But they know the prophecy's true. They know it's real. So they try to lead. They get in that freeloading spirit. They try to leave that fun, dance with the devil, and come back before the doors of repentance close and try to jump on a chariot.
They have that 1 foot in the world and trying to have that 1 foot in the sea.
Can't
But the Lord
serve two
said,
masters.
yep,
Right.
can't
Yeah.
serve two masters. I got that scripture. You want to start at verse 38?
Yeah, wherever it started.
All right, this is Mark chapter 8, verse 38. It says, whosoever therefore shall be ashamed of me and of my words in this adulterous and sinful generation.
Right, the words like the other nations can't make it. And you know, which is the doctrine, the true and proper doctrine. That's what they got offended at.
Yeah.
And this is some sinful and adulterous generation, read.
All right. It says, of him also shall the Son of Man be ashamed when he cometh in the glory of his Father with the holy angels.
Yeah, he gonna be disgusted looking at you in your present, like a nasty ass bitch. He's like, bitch, just get away from me. You know what I mean? Like go. You know what I mean? And they shall be weeping and gnashing their teeth.
Yeah.
But y'all free cars. There's only a couple of them in that bitch. And the Lord ain't passing them shits out like hotcakes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if like I wouldn't try to play that prodigal son card like, yeah, I could fall out and come back in.
Nah.
And people be cocky saying that. You know what I mean? You supposed to like have your head down.
Yeah, I got one for you.
Yeah.
Jaquan.
Well, the brother has some.
Oh, okay.
No, I think the brother. Was you on one first? I think
Nah,
was on-
you did say you had yours first, but
Nah.
I did have
This
something.
this
back
flows.
up.
This is
So it was backing up.
Oh.
This Jeremiah chapter 17 and verse 13. O Lord, the hope of Israel, all that forsake thee shall be ashamed, and they that depart from me shall be written in the earth, because they have forsaken the Lord, the fountain of living waters. And that's what you was going into. You know? Yeah.
Go ahead, Shaquan. I got one after you.
All right, this Matthew chapter 22, verse, I'm going to start at verse 8. It says, then he said to his servants, the wedding is ready, but they which were bidden were not worthy. Go ye therefore into the highways, and as many as ye shall find, bid to the marriage. So those servants went into the highways and gathered together all as many as they found, both bad and good. And the wedding was furnished with guests. And when the king came in to see the guests, he saw there a man which had not on a wedding garment. And he said unto him, friend, how camest thou in hither, not having a wedding garment? And he was speechless.
Yep.
So that won't bring the rest. I was bringing it up for you.
Oh, okay.
Huh.
Now you can break down the aspect.
All right. I'll finish it off and then speak on it. It says, then said the king to the servants, bind him hand and foot, and take him away, and cast him into outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth, for many are called, but few are chosen. So you have a lot of guys that, they're called, but, if they're not chosen, they're going to go back into the world. They're going to, turn their back on the plow. All right, they're going to stop doing this because the Lord is going to take the spirit from them because they're not chosen.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we know it's all about the elect. The scriptures say when Yahweh shall come, he going to gather his elect. So if a guy is not of the elect, something is going to bring him back into the world. Something is going to be enticing to have him stop doing this.
Right. And normally it's like that seed that fell amongst thorns that rose and choked the word. And that was what it said, what the cares for this world and the deceitfulness of riches. You know what I mean? That choked the word out. You got something? I'll go back.
I got one. I got one real quick. Because Quan was speaking on how Jake, again, in verse 33, but whosoever shall deny me before men, him will I also deny before my Father which is in heaven. So we don't care about confessing Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua before men, no matter how it might look to other people, because we want Yahushua to confess us before Yahweh.
I got something real fast. This is the book of Luke chapter 9 and verse 62. And Yahushua said unto him, no man having put his hand to the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom of the Most High.
And fit me like design. You know what I mean?
It's Matthew 25 and verse 4.
Right.
But the wise took oil in their vessels
And
with their
guess
lamps.
what? It says what? They took no oils with them. They ain't want to deal with the burdensome of carrying the oil, which is the truth, right? So, and they was freeloaders. Like a lot of them dudes, they call like I got in contact with them or whatever. This is like see what they want. But I'm like, yo, in their mind, like, yo, they think I'm gonna personally teach them. Like, yo, you could call me when you feel like it. You could call me when you want. Yeah. And not supposed to stop what I'm fucking doing and teach you and answer all your questions there. Yeah. Like, nah, I'm like, yo, this ain't that type of party. I'm like, yo, I ain't your personal teacher. Yeah. And they couldn't really get, he like, what you mean by that? I'm like, yo, it ain't like, you can't just call me anytime you feel like it. And a lot of these dudes, when you going over shit and they watching these videos, they don't even have a pen and a pad out. Anytime I sat amongst my teachers, whether when I first came in, it was under a group called HYK out of Jersey. But anytime I sat under the apostles, I had a recorder, like a little record what they say. Or I go back on YouTube and I watch it home. You know what I mean? But I won't just be watching it like it's entertainment. I'll be jotting down notes. I always kept a notepad open, and that's the first sign somebody is full of shit and they think the truth is entertainment. They stand before it, but they ain't jotting nothing down, they ain't writing nothing down. They just listening to it. Now, if you're a brother and you seasoned, you could kind of do that because you're familiar with a lot that's being brought out. But you still might jot down, oh, what was that? Yeah. That was a banger. You might put it in your, you might throw it in your digital notebook. Before a youngin', a new person coming out or fallout coming back, you like, yo, bro, what the fuck your pen? The Lord said, I have chose you, you have not chosen me. Like the churches say, who want to come up and choose Jesus? Like, bitch, you don't work like that. Like the Lord gotta choose you, like Jonah. If the Lord choose you, you can't refuse his will. And if he don't choose you, you can't say, I'm gonna do this. I always like some dudes like, I'm gonna just do this. I'm gonna come back, do this. You know what I mean? Do that. Get me a board. This shit don't work like that. First of all, the spirit gotta be with you. Because you could go out there and the Lord can have them demons get at you. You know what I mean? So the spirit gotta be with you, and you gotta have a teacher. So now you need that one teach you again. But it's like, yo, who's willing to like teach you? And how can they? Because all the teachers, all the prophets, all the elders, we not in like major downtown spots. We in undisclosed locations. So even if you try to drive up. And like see, like yo, they used to be down here. Even now, like I was telling bros, we used to be on Main Street, but now we on like a side street. You know, you would only see us if you happen to be on this side. And look at the concept of camp. We don't speak loud to the masses. Now we speak loud enough for people to hear us and for the camera to pick up if you in the area walking by. But we're not out here shouting like 2009 and 2008. We ain't doing that. Most of our camps is inside talk. We are outside, but really we kicking it amongst each other to the camera. But we are loud enough for standbyers to hear. But we not fucking with people like, hey, you right there. Hey, you got time for to come in.
And to them anyway, it's like when they hear us speaking, it's like we're speaking in code anyway. And if you're not, if the spirit isn't working,
we say MOTB.
We say MOTB. Yeah, we say Esau. What's E? Who Esau?
Say the truth.
You know what I'm saying? Like things like even that. Calling upon the names of Yahweh Shai, to them that's a foreign language. They know God and Jesus. They don't understand that.
Oh, we say everything to Wa. You like Tawab? They're like, yo, what the fuck is y'all talking about?
Yeah, when we salute each other in public, when we salute each other and stuff, like Yahweh Shai, like, what is that?
Yeah, when people walk by camp, they mainly hear when we go into detail of the scripts we brought out, and they just hear certain words they get offended on, like, oh, you know, we say Esau is so-called white people. They hear that one part and they get offended, like, oh, what? Like, they don't hear nothing else, like what brothers were saying. They don't hear nothing else, but they just hear the words. They get offended. Or we say, oh, women not allowed to speak in the church. Oh, that one thing just set them off.
Because they wanted to argue from the jump. You just gave, They just picked
Have to come out here, and if we see Jake walking across the street, hey, come here, man, you know you're this. Because if you are the elect, you're going to get it.
do that, especially me. I mean,
Yeah.
I used to like go all out to try to like, especially my friends and loved ones I knew, I tried to put this word in their head. Because I'm like, man, ain't nothing like my family I grew up with or my niggas coming into this with me.
And that's love.
Yeah.
That's ultimate love.
Hey,
baby.
but see, now the Lord is starting to close the door. That's why brothers ain't doing it no more. The spirit didn't change.
Brothers ain't going in the break room and telling people and yelling, "Don't eat no pork."
The spirit is beginning to like, because the Lord said when the elect is sealed, then the judgment gonna come.
Right. So the elect more and more getting sealed. Hey, look at this aspect. Just check out the length of camps. Like when I used to camp, we used to camp for 8 hours. We used to come out around like 12 o'clock. And brothers would camp all the way to like 8, 9 at night. Like from 12 noon. I speak like 4 hours by myself. Like I'll come out, I'll rock out for like 4 hours and pass it to another 2 brothers. Then we get up out of it. We come out there around like 12, 1 o'clock noon, and we leave like 7, 8 at night. And the spirit jump in, we probably even stay out there longer, just bringing the word out. But after like kind of the pandemic, things got shortened. Now every camp, it ain't like an order came down like everybody must camp 2 hours now. But all of a sudden, I'm looking at these camp videos, and all of a sudden, the length of every camp video, with majority of brothers, is like 1.5 to 2 hours. So now, if you a brother that's trying to get back in, if you come to camp late, we probably be about to fucking leave. Now, I mean, don't. What if you not mobile? You don't got no car. You on a train? Like, yo, brothers, don't worry, I'm coming. I'll be there. You get off the train and walk up. We like, and we like to give all praises and glory to your high. Yo, we get up with you next time. He like, yo, what's going on? Now, I mean, because
they should have been watching anyway, though.
Yeah.
You know, if it's streaming.
But their mind is to get back in the camp. So you know, you stand on the other side. But then again, through the spirit, Pastor Jarrett was like, yo, no new members in GMS. So now that's even like make things like even more scarce. I mean, and scarcity equals value. The more scarce something is, the more valuable it becomes. And the more abundant something is, the less valuable it becomes. Like a brand new Cobra Mustang, a 2024, you'd be like, damn, that is a nice car, but they not that valuable. Because it's a lot of them being.
That 144,000 remains the same.
Out of the whole millions of Israelites, that's a small number. Like really
that's
small.
That's why the scripture say the harvest is great, but the laborers are few. Because in the grand scheme of how many Israelites that there are in the world, there's only a select men that are actually that the Lord has raised up to teach this word.
And that's going to be the governing body. And that the rule the whole universe. So it's going to be. The 144,000 rulers guarding the whole universe is going to be more than enough room.
That's the
and
highest.
It's going to be so scarce. They see one of the brothers, Lord willing, we be a part, you know, something over lady like, Malak, what you call us coming, you know what I'm saying? It's
and the brothers move around too, so brothers not always in the same camp. So like, even like from where brothers be having 2 different spots, but this is a range spot, right? So brothers be having a range spot. Brothers be having a little main spot, or sometimes brothers get up with other brothers. So for you to like really try to keep, if you're not like in the camp or got the doctrine and the knowledge at the time, I call it the Great Awakening. Like especially when the apostles came back to New York in 07, it was like, y'all brothers get out there, and it was a big expand of brothers, believers coming into the fold. So finish that. Get that, because we about to get up out of here. I want to touch on the Feast of Weeks.
It's Matthew 25:5. While the bridegroom tarried, they all. Well, let me read verse 4. Matthew 25:4. But the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps. While the bridegroom tarried, they all slumbered and slept. And at midnight there was a cry made.
Right, midnight is the height of night, and meaning. Night represents darkness, meaning in this wicked world, when Esau reached the top of his kingdom, the Lord said it was a cry made. And that cry that's being made, and that's how we know Esau is at the height of his kingdom, because the Israelites is coming out, crying out to the Lord about the prophecies and the injustices of the Israelites.
It says, behold, the bridegroom cometh, go ye out to meet him. Then all those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps. And the foolish said unto the wise, give us your oil.
Now this is a breakdown. Y'all brothers keep it, when it can't come, y'all brothers gotta chill with the side.
It's, verse 8. And the foolish said unto the wise, give us your oil, for our lamps are gone out.
Yeah, the foolish said to the wise, who pans, and one with the fire up high, and one with the fire on medium. The one with the fire up high is going to run out of oil faster than the one on medium. But with oil lamps, if you don't like kerosene heaters, them old kerosene heaters, if them shits will burn your whole house down. If you don't clean off of the debris from it burning. And one thing the foolish virgins didn't do, by them going into the world, because the world got a lot of dirty things to it and with it, by them going into the world, that added a lot of debris. And that added a lot of soot, what they call it, to make their fire burn hotter. And one thing about an oil glass, by you not cleaning off, which is basically examining yourself, because this is a metaphor, this is a parable, examining yourself and cleaning yourself up, by you not doing that, it also caused debris and dirt to get on your oil glass. So now you got this oil lamp, you can't even see. Now I mean, the fire is still on, you running out of oil, and all that dirt and dust from the wax and the oil is popping on your glass, so you can't even see properly. You know what I mean? So that's what happened to the foolish virgins. And they wanted some of the oil, which is going to get into, they wanted some of the oil from the ones who chose to carry. They carry more oil.
Verse 9. But the wise answered, saying, not so, lest there be not enough for us and you.
Right, because it's going to come a time where things going to get more stricter in the truth, to where it's like, yo, bro, I'm just trying to really focus on myself. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to stay in line with the Lord. Yeah, I help brothers and do what I could for them, but at the end of the day, I'm trying to focus on me and get right with the Lord.
Working out your own stuff.
Yeah, and brothers going to be wanting your time and your energy. You know what I mean? Tell me this, teach me this, break this down to me. They be like, yo, bro, like, I ain't about to be like, I'm busy. You know what I mean?
And then the Lord said what? The Lord is shortening days for the elect's sake. These days go by fast as hell. So by the time you do all your personal life stuff and the truth, you ain't really got time.
Kids,
that's what I'm saying.
like
you got kids and a woman. And then you got doing the truth, you ain't gonna really have time to really deal and really pour that much into nobody else, man.
I tell brother, quit. Go on the internet and type in whatever breakdown you need. Just put GMS before it, and you better pray that shit pop up. But then you gotta be careful, because you got certain people that's mimicking to be in GMS with off breakdown. So if you're not familiar with brothers' faces, like yo, because you gotta know what you eating and who's feeding you. Like nah, that's the Elder Taja one. I'm like, he good. And dudes that be, switching up, changing the doctrine. You know what I mean? So you might go to learn from this dude, thinking you getting back. He throwing you poison. Pulling you further away from the truth. Yeah.
Like an example of that is like, I'm a younger brother in the faith, and I used to watch that guy Award from the Mississippi camp. Now he was in the truth. Now if I would have like took a break and came back, okay, I see your face, but you teach us something different. You talking about the name of the Lord is barber song, So that's what that dude is.
Now it's like, I remember you. They like, I got some food for your ass. The Lord name is barber song.
Let me finish this off. Okay, it says, I'll finish this off for you. It says, but go ye rather to them that sell and buy yourselves.
Doing the Irish exit on that one. You say barber song?
Irish exit.
I'll be back.
I got some.
Go ahead.
This is 2 Timothy 4:3. For the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine, but having itching ears, they shall heap to themselves teachers in accordance with their own lusts. So the Bible is not it's not interested enough to Jake. They want to go into other forbidden books like Jasher and Enoch and all that. They want mermaids and portals under the pyramid. You know what I'm saying? This is all you need. If you got the true understanding of the scriptures, it's way more than we even can comprehend right now.
It's the highest knowledge on the planet right now.
Yeah.
This is divine knowledge that we have. We know what happens when somebody dies. We know we can't tell you, we can't paint a picture for you, but we know what the scriptures say. We know that there's no you just in eternal darkness. It's just the end. You just don't exist no more. No, there's another dimension, the spirit world that you go to.
We know when a child is born, that's not the first time that spirit has been on the earth.
This is divine. This is divine knowledge.
And the scriptures say, write and make it plain upon tables. We make it easy that a 5-year-old can grasp and understand. But it's just not good enough for you 2/3. Like brother said, y'all want to hear something way far out there, far beyond your imagination. Y'all want to hear fables and tales. Scriptures y'all want to hear smooth things. Y'all want to hear something nice. Y'all want everybody to be included, but this is not for everybody. It's only a select group. Only a select group gonna get that golden ticket, man.
I got a pre-sale.
This is once after that, we're going to touch on a couple of scriptures on the Feast of Weeks.
This is Matthew chapter 7 and verse 15. Beware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly are ravening.
It's 23:15. Give me Deuteronomy 16:16. Give me Acts the 2nd chapter. So because right now, see, the Lord commanded all males 3 times in a year to come before him. So it was the Feast of Unleavened Bread, which is the Passover, which we just had, the Feast of Tabernacles, and the Feast of Weeks. And that's like a must keep, you know. So right now we in the Feast of Weeks. Actually, it closes out Monday, the end of Monday, which is the beginning of Tuesday on the 20th. So we actually in the Feast of Weeks right now. So going into it, basically the Feast of Weeks, for brothers that don't know, see, the Passover was so bad, and what the Lord did for us, delivering us from Egypt, when we was in the wilderness, the tabernacle, when we was in the wilderness, and during the time in the wilderness, a lot of miracles was done for Israel. Like when he struck the rock, water came out. He made manna come from the heavens, right? So a lot of he got rid of remember the Levites, you know, slaughtered up a lot of different things too. Read that 16:16. All right. So also like another name from it is Pentecost, right? Because Penta means 5, right? Yeah, like a pentagram is a 5-shaded figure. So 7 weeks plus a day from the Passover is a Pentecost. Right, but read that.
All right, this Deuteronomy chapter 16, verse 16. And it reads, 3 times in a year shall all thy males appear before the Lord thy God in the place which he shall choose.
Yeah, so whatever place the Lord shall choose. You know what I mean? Because brothers like is in different areas. And y'all get order amongst yourselves on where y'all gonna come and gather at for the gathering or the feast. And you know, certain brothers or camps got different, it's to the best of your ability, right? Some brothers with bigger camps, brothers working, they got more resources, right? So, but some brothers is smaller camps, 2 or 3, y'all might could just have do some prayers and do a small meal, do a sit down. The Lord just wants you to acknowledge it and honor it. You know?
If I can say something real fast, and correct me if I'm wrong, Pentecost, 5 meaning number of power. Then the disciples, they got their power around that time.
Just gonna get to that. Yeah. You right. Yeah. That's why I'm gonna get Acts the 2nd chapter.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. And it says, in the Feast of Unleavened Bread, and in the Feast of Weeks.
And in the Feast of Weeks.
And in the Feast of Tabernacles.
And the Feast of Tabernacles. So those is do it. But even if you put up some prayers and have a small meal, the Lord just want to see you acknowledge it. You know what I mean? You got that? 23 and 15 and 16.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, and verse 15. And ye shall count on you from tomorrow after the Sabbath from the day that ye bought the sheaf of the wave offering. 7 Sabbaths shall be complete.
Yeah.
Even unto the morrow after the 7th Sabbath shall ye number 50 days, and ye shall offer a new meat offering unto Yahweh.
Right. So that's Penta, which means 5. Now going into the book of Acts, you had the Pentecost. And that's when, like the brother said, 5 meaning power. And that's why you got a lot of things you do with your hands. Like, you know, you shoot a gun with your hands, you work with your hands, you build a house with your hands, you fight with your hands, right? Like in the scripture said, there shall be no might in thy hands. And what's on your hands? Fingers. And how many you have? You have 5. And when you ball them together, you make like a fist, right? So like Penta are going into numerology. 5 meaning what? Power. You know, and that's when a lot of spiritual power, like we living in those times, chariots, sightings, and this when a lot of brothers, the Lord bringing back spiritual powers in the earth, man, especially when his devil move and make his move. So that's why the Pentecost is so heavy. The church grew, and a lot of spiritual things was happening. Not just spiritual powers in the sense that, you know, because Jake wants spiritual powers just to fuck shit up. But, you know, but you might even have spiritual powers when you heal somebody. You know what I mean? Because that's the balance of it. Like, we ain't just going to be fucking shit up. We going to be healing things, too.
And
This spiritual power right here.
Yeah. I was just
bringing out this
spirit.
truth.
And that's the spirit. I was just about to say that this spiritual power, being able to break this truth down. That's the spirit.
That's also where the healing starts. You know, you healing people's spirits out there. You know, with basically waking up the elect. That's healing. Waking up being
like the scripture say, now are you healed through the word which I have speaking unto you. That's what it starts with.
Yeah, man, that was brothers ping pong that point. that was like refreshing to the spirit. Hey, that's what brothers for though.
Go ahead and bring it up.
Acts 2nd.
This Acts chapter 2 verse 1 in the heading, it says the day of Pentecost. It says, and when the day of Pentecost, the Pentecost was fully come, they were all with one accord in one place. And suddenly there came a sound from heaven as of a rushing mighty wind, and it filled all the house where they were sitting. It said,
had people, the Israelite foreigners coming in. It said Jews from different nations under the heavens, you know, that came together. And that's one thing significant about the holy days. Like, because sometimes brothers should be so caught up into their own lives, they don't have time, or, you know, they make excuses of this and that. And some things really do be like urgent, right? But what the holy days is, the Lord put a stop on your life. Like, nope.
Gotta do this shit.
Yeah, and they bring you back around, brother. So holy days are real significant, especially all the camps. But if you got a larger camp, like to keep that brotherhood to get, because when you eat with somebody and you laugh with somebody and stuff like that, that releases dopamine. And and one thing about the brotherhood, in order, like, you know, you gotta chill around brothers, you gotta kick it with brothers. You know what I mean? You gotta do things with brothers that build y'all brotherly bond. You know what I mean? But and one thing that promotes a ground for that is the high holy days that pull us together, because it's like, you know, brothers like, well, I'm working today. Why we can't do it this day? I'm working. Like, so, like, who's willing to take off? Like, you know what I mean? So, but the Lord, like, look, this day everybody take the fuck off. I'm gonna fuck y'all up. It's like, and y'all come together and worship me and give me thanks for what I did. Then after that, brothers had their little drinks or whatever, and brothers chill and get to know each other. So holy days is essential to the brotherhood as far as brothers coming together, because we could be so busy and so scattered all over the place that we could lose kind of contact with each other. You know what I mean?
And through the Spirit, the Lord created this in its perfection from the start for when we are made perfect. And, you know, the whole universe is going to be under the kingdom of Israel, but each brother is going to have, like, their own kingdom and lineage and all that to run. And that's what's going to keep us together, because brother's going to be on the other side of the universe. But it's going to time to come back. You know, hey, always. You know,
I got a new crop of slaves.
And then come bearing gifts. You know, because, like, right now, it's, you know, our resources are finite, but imagine when our resources are infinite. You know,
abundance mind state.
Brother that came with you know,
abundance mind state.
Hey, brother, on there, can you go up and it was saying like brothers came from everywhere, kind of?
Yeah.
Can you read that part again?
It's Acts chapter 2, verse 5. And there were dwelling at Jerusalem Jews, devout men, out of every nation under heaven.
Yeah, so right now in Babylon the Great, you would say the same thing. You got devoted Jews because you got the Zaquan coming from New Jersey, right? We came from our city. We in the same state, but our city with these brothers. So the Lord bringing men from everywhere together, man. From
devout men.
Devout Jews,
not
man.
Fucking niggas.
Yeah, devout Jews.
Hey, we gotta look.
Bring it back to the earth, man.
Yeah, and he did it in a he didn't even have to do that. He could have just been like, all right, now y'all can talk in different tongues. He did it in a extravagant fashion where it's like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
It is strange word.
Right, yeah.
But reading on, this verse 6, it says, now when this was noised abroad, the multitude...
Oh, you got that devout?
Yeah. So, it's you lock base. Oh, that's locked.
You got base.
It says, taking hold well, carefully, and cautiously, reverencing the Most High. You know, that's basically what it means. These men reverence the Heavenly Father, which is very rare, you know, and amongst, you know, in the world, man.
They didn't have niggas amongst them.
But reading on, this is Acts chapter 2, verse 6. Now when this was noised abroad, the multitude came together and were confounded, because that every man heard them speak in his own language. It says, and they were all amazed and marveled, saying one to another, behold, are not all these which speak Galileans? And how hear we every man in our own tongue wherein we were born?
Yep.
So, you know,
that's a beautiful miracle.
they were able to speak in other languages. You know?
No, that was in on that.
Okay.
But I did want to bring the point too. You know, that's the Pentecost. This is show you how hypocritical these damn churches is. You got a branch of Christianity called the Pentecostals. And when you ask them, like, hey, do y'all celebrate the Feast of Pentecost? They'll tell you no.
That's crazy, but it's your name.
But they don't, but because, you know, they look at that as a Jewish culture. You know what I mean? And they call themselves heathens when they really the real children of Israel. So, but it's funny, it's funny how the hell, that's kind of like y'all are Baptists, but y'all don't believe in the words of John the Baptist. Yeah, like, no, you know, like, no, we don't believe in the words of John the Baptist. But we are Baptists. Oh, we don't believe in baptizing people. But welcome to my Baptist church. Like, yo, what the fuck? Like,
hey, well, through the Spirit, just like so-called Christians, it means you're a follower of the Anointed or Mashiach, and they don't follow, you know, the Anointed. They don't follow Yahushua because Yahushua can't keep the law. He didn't keep the law so that you could not keep it.
Right.
So they can't call themselves Christians because they're not truly followers of Him. But we are. We are, because we do what he commanded of us, you know, or whatnot. But they ain't gonna go cook an alligator. They ain't gonna cook skunk, a snake and shit like that. They want to eat pork. They want to justify it for shellfish, man.
And then at the end of the day, when they really embrace like what the name means, like being a so-called Christian, it was a derogatory term. They were first called Christians. So they wouldn't even take that if it was something, because we're gonna have to bear that. Oh, y'all believe in Yahushua? We're gonna really bear that in them days. But even the word Christian gonna be like, oh, you.
Because they got exiled.
You believe in about exactly?
Yeah, they trying to do away with the word in the book. But I found that crazy to be a Pentecostal, but then don't keep the Feast of Pentecost. And that's not, it goes back to the Feast of Weeks, but it was celebrated in the New Testament, because they like to say, oh, that's the Old Testament. But in Acts, the second chapter, that's the New Testament. You know what I mean? That's Acts. But y'all Pentecostals that don't celebrate the Pentecost. And that's just like so hypocritical. That's crazy to me. But hey, man, unless y'all got something else to say, we like to give all praises. I'm good. All right. Yeah, brother's gonna close out. We'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakakodash.
Hey, peace and blessings to the brothers, men, women, and children that believe are the 1/3. Y'all have a blessed holy day to those y'all brothers celebrating. You know what I mean? May peace and blessings be to y'all. Until next time, shalom.
Shalom.